software is crucial to business success only if it's a key differentiating factor in an intensely competitive environment. Now, if our banks were truly fighting it out for survival, a bank would risk losing business to its competitors merely on account of poor customer service. The fact that this doesn't really happen is proof enough that competition is not quite at that level. So the leverage provided by software alone is not that high, and banks are not very highly enthusiastic about computerization either.
One question. If software is really so crucial to business success, how is it that firms in the US really trust a third world country like India to meet their requirements?
There are actually two interpretations to your question. You could either doubt the ability of firms in a third world country like India to deliver reliable enough software, or you could doubt their ability to understand the business needs of firms in an environment which is as competitive as the US market.
Oh, I guess I was thinking about the reliability bit.
Well, our ability to deliver reliable software is really not questioned today. We meet requirements for business software as well as anybody else in the world, though we may not be perceived to be as good with, say, an air traffic control system on which human lives depend. Coming to the second aspect, US firms probably do not trust us as much to understand their competitive environment and plan for their information systems strategically. But this is where the real value addition lies. We're getting there slowly but surely.
A question. I'm not quite convinced with your analogies with civil construction. What exactly does it mean to apply an engineering approach to software?
Well, there are really three components to an engineering approach. The first is methods. Methods for software are still pretty much evolving, whereas those for surveying are pretty much in place. The second element is tools. Code generation is still pretty much a manual activity, unlike, say, road laying, which is pretty much automated. The third element is standards and procedures. We software developers rarely agree upon variable naming standards, but builders rarely disagree upon the ideal ratio of cement to sand that they should use.
You mentioned something about configuration management. Now this looks like plain common sense and discipline. Why then should it be such a problem?
The key word here is discipline, and discipline to such an extent that you would need a tool to enforce it. Suppose you were to tell someone that he should never modify a piece of code without first placing a formal request with a third person. Chances are that the first two times he'll be able to do it, but it will take extraordinary discipline for him to do it all the time, particularly if a customer has just called and reported a nasty bug in a program written by him.